What up, everybody? Welcome back. It's another episode of A Puff a Minute. I'm your boy, man, Cigar Mick.
This is Cigar Banker. What up, people? I almost forgot my name.
You almost forgot who you was. It's been so long. You know what I'm saying? Right? Where we been, bro? Where we been? Hey, it's good to be back in the building. You know what I'm saying? So, we got a 2-camera shot that's happening right now. Those of you who are on the IG Live, man, y'all get the straight dope, man. Y'all get to see it before we clean anything up. So, you're going to get all our mistakes, man. All our, misgivings, all that type of stuff, man. But y'all just stick with us. Also, if you want to interact, man, feel free, drop something in on the comment section, questions, comments, whatever, man. So y'all know how we do it, right? We get together and we have a conversation while we're enjoying some cigars. I'm gonna have to get this lit. And we just talk about what's top of mind right now. We've been away for a while, right? So I'm gonna be honest with you. Be prepared today because I'm probably gonna throw up all over y'all, right? Because for me, this is almost like therapy. Sometimes you gotta purge and get things off your chest a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna have a little conversation. But first, let's talk about what we smoking today, bro.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I keep doing this. I go to the shop. I go look for something.
Right.
I end up buying the same stuff over and over again. But if it's good, why change it, right?
There you go.
But anyway, shout out to BMO at Cavalier. Guy had to go get one of these Cavalier cigars today. This is the Maduro.
Yes.
And Toro size. And you got to smoke through the gold, baby. Smoke through the gold.
Smoke gold, stay gold.
Yeah. So beautiful stick, man. If you know about it, go check them out, man. BMO at Cavalier. Great cigar, great product, man. We always supporting Brian. So he always supports the Puff a Minute.
Excuse me, bro. I think I just had a little cigar orgasm real quick. Yeah. So, speaking about our boy B-Mo at Cavalier, man, you know what I'm saying? This is a brother who's been down with us for a long time. He used to be Brian at Illusione, right? And we did a lot, man, together. We did a lot with that brand, for that brand. That brand did a lot supporting a Puff a Minute, as Cigar Banker just said. So, my first stick, man, I went back to the Illusione, man. This is that 88. Very, very nice stick, man. It's hard for me right now because, like I said, this is the first one in like 9 weeks. So I'm really just trying to get my thoughts together, man. This is so, man.
It's therapeutic.
Whew, this is long awaited, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm glad I chose this one for my first stick back. Shout out to the family over at Illusione, man. Shout out to my man Big Dave. Shout out to Howard. You know what I'm saying? Dion, man. Come on, bro. Holla at your boys, man. We looking forward to seeing you again soon, real soon, man. Yeah. So that's what's up, man. And again, like today, bro, I'm just, you know what this is, man? I'm gonna tell you what this is real quick, right? So if y'all ain't noticing your boy Mick, right? Come on now. I'm a little fitter and a little trimmer than the last time you saw me. Okay? I've been doing that keto now for almost just a little over 2 months, right? Dropped about 27 pounds to this point. Still got some goals, man, but feeling so good. But in the morning, man, I get up and I do this thing called bulletproof coffee, man. Most of y'all know about it. You know what I'm saying? But you just get you some coffee, man. You drop you some ghee up in that piece, man, and some MCT oil, and it literally satiates you for like the whole morning, right? You have no hunger. It's so high and concentrated in fats and stuff like that. So when you do the keto thing, your body burns fat instead of carbohydrates. You know what I'm saying? So so you got to feed fats into your body and stuff like that. So good fats, but it's all good. So that's what I'm pairing with today. Is some bulletproof coffee. You know what I'm saying?
Keep it low key, bro. Keep the tea on hand.
Keep the tea on hand, bro. You're gonna spill the tea today, bro.
This might be the cancels.
Yeah, it's the cancel culture. Since the last time we was here, it was bad at one point, but now it's 10 times worse, right? The cancel culture. So let's just hope we don't get canceled today, fam.
Bro, for real.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, before we get too far in the conversation, like you said, we gotta talk about where we at. We gotta
please
talk about
do.
Please do. Tapping that.
This is it.
This is it, baby.
This is it.
This is the spot. If you have not been here yet and you here in town,
you sleeping.
Get down here and check it out, man. The #1 black-owned cigar lounge in town, right?
Come on.
Doing their thing in Las Vegas.
Yes,
in Las Vegas, doing their thing.
Shout out to Melvin and Michelle Runless, man, for having the vision, man. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to, start with something, man, in that, that ideology type phase, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of bring it to life, man. This is a work of love. This is a work of passion, man. I'm proud to be down here.
We gotta walk around. We'll do that, give you some shots, man. But get down here and check it out. Any video any pictures we take is not going to do it justice.
Yeah, exactly. You got to see it for yourself.
And I love it, man. We got a nice platform of lounges. Shout out to Jeff over at Sugar Daddy.
Yes, indeed, man. Still doing this thing.
Keeping the entertainment popping.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a nice platform we got here in Vegas right now.
Loving it, man. Loving it, man. Mel in the back, man. But hey, Mel, this is the official home of A Puff a Minute, though, right?
That is correct.
Y'all heard it, right? This is where we're gonna be at. This is where we're gonna be. Hey, the backyard studio served its purpose, but in case y'all haven't heard, it was like 106 degrees out in this piece yesterday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the backyard studio ain't gonna be seeing a whole lot of time right now.
Polo, though.
Yeah.
It's our mascot, right?
You gotta have Polo, man. But if y'all don't know who Polo is, then y'all ain't been watching A Puff a Minute, right? Polo is the official mascot, like Jay said. You know what I'm saying? And he literally does things to keep us on our toes. Like when you trying to make a good point, he'll start barking in the background. Yeah. Or occasionally he'll come in and you know, and drop a deuce right in front of the camera while we talking. So he keep us on our toes, you know. That's what that is. But yeah, man, I know we got like so much to talk about. You know what I mean? But let's keep it light in the beginning, right? Something that we hadn't had an opportunity to talk about because, you know, we wasn't down, but I know people still got opinions about it. Let's talk about those NBA finals a little bit, man.
Oh, man.
You know?
I thought it played out exactly like I thought it would. I told everybody from the get-go, if Golden State makes it to the playoffs, if they make it in, be worried. They could run through the West. Okay. And sure enough, they're just a complete team. They got healthy at the right time. Clay came back. It was like the best storyline it could ever be.
It was, man. It was. Personal note, I only had one piece of disappointment, and that was at the end of Game 7. You know what I'm saying? And again, he earned this. You know, I ain't really trying to take nothing. But I didn't see Steph congratulate not one of those Boston players, man. You know what I'm saying? He didn't go over to them and, like, you know, share some love or whatever. Great series. And I was a little disappointed because I seen Draymond do that. I saw a bunch of other players go and do that. And these are some young boys that put their heart into this season, man. You know, and they fell short. So you know they're heartbroken. So console them a little bit, man. I saw, I think Magic, I seen players do that for up and coming, like for Jordan. You know, so I seen Jordan do it for other players. I really would have liked to have seen that from Steph, man. But he was just, I mean, again, it was his moment, but he kind of, you know, to me, that was a little bit of selfishness, man. Right? But it was emotional. But
his first MVP.
Yes.
First Finals MVP. And they gave that one to Iguodala that probably should have been his anyway. But anyway, that was his first one. He just was emotional. And then at the end of the day, like the first question they asked him when he did the press conference, what did it feel like to get the MVP? He was like, it didn't matter. Right. He was like, let's talk about this team. He was like, because that team won that championship.
I agree.
And it was. They each had their moments. They each showed up at different times. Jordan Poole showed up. He was streaky as hell. You had Draymond doing Draymond things. You know, so they had to get through all that adversity. Clay had his moments. You know, Steph had the 40-point game. It was like 43 or something like that. He put up in Boston to keep the series momentum going. So, I mean, it was just a lot. It was a lot, man. But at the end of the day, the thing that I'm talking about now is you got to put Steph in the GOAT conversation.
Oh, yeah. You have to.
Put him in the GOAT.
Without a question, bro. Without a question, man. He earned that. And I don't think anybody really saw Steph's career when he first came into the league having this much of an impact. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was a bad boy at Davidson College. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Side note, you know what I'm saying? When I lived in Charlotte, man, I used to go to the same churches there. You know what I'm saying? So I remember when Dell was playing for the Hornets and stuff, man. So it's good to see the evolution, you know, of the Curry family to an extent. I mean, with the boys in the game and the NBA side of things and stuff like that. That's cool to see. I think they did what everybody else in the Eastern Conference failed to do. And that is that they cracked the code on Boston, right? And what I mean by that is they figured out that Jason Brown, right? Jaylen Brown. Yeah, they figured out that Jaylen Brown couldn't dribble, right? So they put so much pressure on him, bro, that he looked like he just finished eating a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken out there. You know, ball just slipping all out his hands and stuff like that. So that was one of the keys. And the second key was that Tatum, right? He couldn't handle any body pressure under the basket. So every time he go to the hole, if you bump him, he was going to blow the shot. Those are the two things that I feel like cost Boston this series. And Smart is not a true point guard in my mind. He's not a playmaker. You know what I mean?
Playmaker. I thought he played a smart series though.
Smart play smart.
Yeah, he could have played better on defense because they kept switching the pick and rolls with Steph until that last game, like you said.
Yeah.
And they finally figured out stop switching the pick and roll, and then look at what happened. Steph didn't have as good of a game.
Right.
They kept switching. He was wide open shooting threes.
Yeah.
But with Tatum, bro, he kept getting hit with different defenders every time. It's like, boom, okay, now I got Wiggins on me. Boom, I turn around, there's Draymond. Boom, I turn around, here's Clay right up in my face.
Exactly.
He had no room to breathe most of that series.
Yeah.
He was struggling.
Exactly.
And like you said, he came back.
Yeah.
So he don't want to go down there and bang. He's 6'9", 6'10", or something like that, and didn't want to go down there and bang.
But they went from being the bangers to getting banged.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they got to taste their own, and they got outbanged in this series, bro.
Yeah.
So real talk, that's what took place, man. So I mean, anyway, I'm looking forward to next year NBA season. I don't know what happened in the draft. I'm still trying to figure out what the Knicks did because that made no sense to me. Made absolutely no sense, bro. You know what I'm saying? They did all of that to free up some cap room, man. So maybe they trying to go after somebody, what have you, bro. But
the thing is now is the Kyrie package, right? So everybody's trying to put together the package for Kyrie because you got to get the players, picks, everything to get Kyrie, right? The Knicks is on that short list, and he gave them a list of teams he wanted to go to. The Knicks, Miami, the Lakers.
He did.
I forget, it was a few other teams on that list.
Yeah.
He had a short list, and he was like, okay, we do a sign and trade deal, so maybe the Knicks just positioning to put that package together.
It's possible.
Get Kyrie in New York.
I tell you what, I would rather have happen. I would rather that Kyrie go to LA. Okay.
I think most people would.
Yeah, I would rather see him in LA, and then I would like to see KD get mad and be like, all right, I'm out of here, and have KD go to New York where he should have went in the first place. That's where he belonged in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would rather see that. But I don't know. Is Kyrie, and I'm not trying to come off like Stephen A. hate on Kyrie, man. I mean, he go overboard with it.
Yeah.
I do ask the question, is Kyrie worth it?
I think so.
You think so?
I can't believe he wasn't in the top 75. That dude.
He never been to the playoffs without LeBron.
Yeah, but he had a fun team in Cleveland before they got LeBron back. And then when they got LeBron back, that's when they built a whole squad.
When he was in Boston,
yeah.
and now Jersey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, the track record isn't one that you would say, oh, we got to go out and get this dude. Plus, he's unreliable. I mean, you can't. I respect him personally. I respect him for the stand that he took, man. I'm like in the minority there, right? When it came to the vaccinations, I respect that stand that he took because, you know what I'm saying, I'm not going to make a life decision based on somebody else's entertainment value. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I got to think about my life first. You know what I'm saying? So he made his decision, so you got to respect his decision. But what I'm saying is before that, he was unreliable in Boston. You know what I'm saying? He was unreliable in New Jersey. So, I mean, how can you put all this money together to build a package for somebody who, missing half the season?
Yeah, I mean, they did it for KD, though. He be missing time a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, they did it for him. Look at Kawhi. Kawhi Leonard, he ain't hardly played since he won the championship.
You're right. That's an excellent analogy right there.
So I'm like, they've done it for other players that had that potential. It's always about the potential, right? Right. So the potential is there for them to win a championship with Kyrie. Yeah. Why not take the chance? Exactly. You only get one opportunity, right? You can't wait till next season all the time. Exactly. You got to do it right now and try to win right now.
There it is, bro.
It's a win now mentality.
Win now.
If the Lakers is really focused on that, when you talking about LeBron being 20 years in the league, he about to be 38 years old. Like, he ain't got too many more opportunities.
He don't. So you think he can do it again with Kyrie?
I do.
Okay.
They need to get rid of Anthony Davis, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but I mean, LeBron is already pretty much like doubled down on Davis, bro.
But that's the liability right there, Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. I'm like, dude is never on the court. Dude, they call him street clothes Anthony, bro. He always in street clothes. Yeah. Every time you see him on the game. Right. It's like, come on, man, that bubble. Nobody count the bubble championship. Yeah. Come on now.
Come on, yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, bro. So again, bro, y'all know how we do here at the Puff a Minute, right? So we literally, bro, none of this is planned, man. We don't never know what we're gonna talk about until the camera comes on, So we just start getting into some stuff and we just start talking about it, right? So one of the things that here comes the cancel culture piece right now, right? So one of the things that's really happening, going down right now in the United States of America, is that this past week. Right before the weekend, the Supreme Court rolled back, the Roe versus Wade, you know, which basically, you know, made it now is pretty much illegal in many states to even, for a woman to even consider going out and having an abortion. They either have to travel to another state, or, you know, some of the other states have, you know, other restrictions based on the age of the fetus and stuff like that. Some of them just, most of them, you know, of these red states, let's just call it what it is, just outright outlawed it. This is a conversation that either people are having, or, you know, in their individual lounges, or are afraid to have, you know what I'm saying? But we at Puff for Minute, man, we just always pull the Band-Aid off and just talk about stuff, man. So let's get into this one a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to play devil's advocate a little bit, but I also want to really talk about, you know, how I see this as a trend in this country, you know, in rolling back rights, in this case women's rights, right? But taking away rights, man, and taking more control. I remember before the pandemic, one of the conversations that we had, I said there's two things that are at play. I said, number one, they want to control the population, and number two, they want to control the population. You know what I'm saying? A little play on words, but you see what I'm saying, right? So I feel like this is part of that playbook in a real sense, man. So, I mean, why don't you, you know, start us off, man. Let us know, what did you see happening this week?
Yeah, so definitely conversations going on, right? Like you said, when it comes to the states that just went hard line, you know, there's no exceptions for rape, no exceptions for incest. It's those traditional states that's always causing problems,
right?
And always, you know, putting us in these situations. Like you said, the control factor was a big one for me. It didn't seem like it had anything to do with women's rights, women being able to say what they want to happen with their bodies. You know, when you talk about health reasons, like there's women that have to have abortions because they could die if they carry the fetus.
True story.
There's all these different factors, right, that they didn't even consider. Why is that? Why is that? And the reason is, it's because of control. They cared nothing about choice. They cared about controlling us.
Exactly.
And that just leads us down a slippery slope where we get into the situation where what else is going to get rolled back? Now we got to start worrying about Brown versus Board of Education. We got to start worrying about Voting Rights Act. All these other things that they can start rolling back on us because that was the first step.
Yes.
But we said it, like you said, we talked about this when the pandemic first popped off.
Yeah.
And we was like, man, this not playing out right.
Exactly.
When have we ever had to shut down the whole country because of a flu?
Exactly.
When has there been a pandemic because there was a new illness? When there was swine flu, when there was the bird flu, we didn't shut down the whole country.
Exactly.
And so all of a sudden now there's COVID, we shut down the whole country.
Exactly.
And you know what that was? The whole time was control.
Yes.
Y'all getting out of hand, sit y'all butts down, quarantine, stop moving around.
Exactly.
We're going to lock y'all down and do all this stuff. And you know what? At the same time, we're going to save the businesses. We want to save them because we got to keep that capital culture.
Exactly.
We're going to keep them in place. But y'all, we don't care nothing about y'all.
Yeah. I love how you just like really touched upon the slippery slope theory, right? So again, first of all, you know, slippery slope. So now that we have this, what's it going to lead to down the road, right? So they have been projecting, you know, and I'm talking about the far right, man. They have been projecting what they're going to do for quite some time. So I get it, right? There's a lot of people who consider themselves so-called Christians, you know, and Jesus never called himself or his disciples Christians, by the way, but that's a whole nother story. But anyway, who have strong feelings. I've seen some friends of mine who have made posts on social media, you know, celebratory posts, I should say, in the decision that the Supreme Court made this week. A couple of them had their heads handed to them, by the way, but I just stayed silent. But at the end of the day, man, listen, I come from a long line of ministers, right? My family as well. So I get it. I understand that people have very, very strong feelings on that. But here's where there was a time where even myself, right, as an ordained minister, and I don't tell a lot of people that, but there was a time where even myself held that party line. But I have evolved over the years, right? Because what I feel like at this point is people should be able to make their own choices, right? So again, if you're somebody who is totally against abortion, don't have an abortion. right? But when you try to force your belief system on other people or on the general population, right? That's where the problems began. Right? If people would just stay in their lane, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't have so much enmity, man, so much hatred, so much turmoil in this country. But the problem, going back to how we started, is that we have people who are trying to control other people. We're like a half a second off of snitch laws, man, in this country, where neighbors start snitching on neighbors, man, like they did in, you know, World War II Germany. So we're not very far off of that right now, you know what I'm saying? And it is ridiculous, man. So again, what is the end game? I feel like, hey, if that is your belief system, you are entitled to it, right? Just like Kyrie was entitled to believe what he believed about the vaccinations. I'm not holding nothing against you. Just don't do it. Yeah. Say for me and my household, we ain't buying into that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you can't make that decision for other people. What the government has done now, they have stepped in and made this decision for millions of women across this country who have nothing, you know, no other alternative now other than to maybe face you know, criminal prosecution, right, for making a decision that they feel like they have to make for their own body, for their own health, for their own welfare, their own future. And I don't feel like that's right, man. And, you know, if you on the live, man, chime in. Let us know what y'all think about this. Don't be scared of the subject matter, man. You know what I'm saying? One thing about Puff a Minute, man, we always gonna keep it real. Yeah. So, yeah.
But I agree with you, man. It's like now, like I said, people are dipping into each other's lives way more than they ever have.
Exactly.
And it's turned into politics. These are the political issues that they're going up into Congress with, is whether we can make a choice about how to live our lives. And that's why you got all these movements of people that are saying we're going to rebel.
Right.
We don't want to be part of society. We don't want to be part of this culture of you wanting to tell me what I'm going to do and how I'm going to live my life.
Exactly.
And then, like you said, the slippery slope is crazy because you think about how many LGBTQ rights were passed, the right for them to get married, and all these other things that they've been able to have a great movement.
Exactly.
They've said, especially he's like I'm jealous
of their movement.
I'm jealous of how successful you have been in your movement. And I'm like, shoot, if they were able to have that success, like we in trouble, man. We in trouble.
The thing about it is, every movement in this country was built, right, on the back or the success of civil rights. Okay, I mean, when you go back as far as the, you know, the abolitionist movement, right? You know, it was the momentum that was built in the abolitionist movement that ushered in the women's suffrage movement. You see what I'm saying? And then, like I said, this continuous fight that we still haven't reached, you know, to the point where we can actually say, hey, you know, everybody is equal, or this, that, and the other thing. But from there, that led to immigration rights. From there, that led to, you know, the LGBTQ movement. I almost left the letter out, but that led to that movement. You feel me? So at the end of the day, man, when you start rolling it back, right? How far can you roll this thing back, bro? Because for me, it almost feels, you know, like people took it very lightly, man, when Trump came into office and he said, we're taking our country back. You know what I'm saying? And most people thought that that was possession. Like, it's mine and I'm taking it back to me. I saw that whole thing as a timeline. Like, he's taking us back in time. You see what I'm saying? And I don't personally want to go back to 1865. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go back to that time, man, because, you know, and I am, you know, I'll be 57 this year, right? The Voters' Rights Act was what, 1965? That's the year I was born. So that's just in my lifetime, which is telling me that my parents and their parents did not have the same freedoms and rights that I have experienced in my lifetime. But it's only been 57 years.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So now they trying to, I almost said something, bro, but I'm going to say it, I don't care. They trying to kill off a generation that has known freedom. They trying to kill off a generation that has known freedom and start new, okay, with people who never, with people now, the next generation, man, this new generation A, right? We already went through the whole alphabet. Generation A, for them, it's going to be normal to not be able to leave your house. It's going to be normal to not have to go out without wearing a mask. It's going to be normal, right, to understand that, oh, abortion is illegal. They are resetting the clock, bro, for the next generations. And if we don't stand up and do something and preserve these freedoms for our children and our children's children, we're going back to 1865.
Yeah, we got to, man. Like I said, you make a good point, because we talk about the millennials a lot, right? I'm coming from the millennial generation. We grew up with technology, grew up with computers, with MySpace, Facebook, all that stuff. The way we think and process through things is a lot different than the generation before us, because we were forced to work together. When you went to our schools, they sat us at a table with 4 other students. When you went to college, you did group projects. People were sending emails to professors saying, I deserve an A. Not I earned an A, but I deserve it. You need to give me another project so I can get an A in your class. That's the generation I came from. The trophies, you know, the merit.
Everybody got a trophy.
That. Right. So our mentality, the way we think through things is a lot different. We think we deserve freedom. We think we deserve these rights. Our thinking about the world is weird, but that's why they focus on millennials so much, because we were that first generation that just grew up with all these different factors influencing us and making us some crazy, weird people. We all got anxiety issues. We all got all these different ups and downs, and everybody wants to be an astrologist now and all this craziness. But I say all that to say, at some point, we got to start stepping up. We as the millennial generation are the generation that I believe needs to start preserving these rights.
There you go.
We need to start working to preserve our communities, whether it's the LGBTQ community, if it's the Hispanic Latino community, if it's our community. We need to start stepping up and doing what we need to do to preserve our rights. If we don't do it, I'm afraid for this next generation, like you said. This generation is too used to being in the house. They too used to playing video games and interacting with people through social media rather than having a conversation and sitting down with somebody. So you talk about going to Congress and having to represent somebody in Congress, that generation, I'm scared, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. You know, to your point, we live in a generation today, man, where people would rather send a text message than pick up the phone. You know what I'm saying? We've been on here, bro. I don't even know how long we've been on, but how many people can hang with the conversation this long? You know what I'm saying? How many people can watch, you know, our episode or interact with us, man, from beginning to end? Because people have been trained now to have these very, very short attention spans, and they're not prepared to ingest information that really matters, right? We live in an entertainment-driven society, bro. You know, what can you do to titillate, you know what I'm saying, my senses in the short term, right? So that I can go ahead and get my next fix on titillation someplace else afterwards. But meanwhile, there are, you know, things at play, man. There are devious minds that are right now that are working overtime, vigorously, figuring out how they can take away your freedom, right? Meanwhile, we talking about, hey, I'm heading to the club tonight, bro. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, whatever. And we're not getting engaged politically. We're not getting engaged, you know, with our representatives and demanding the things that we want, which is the reason why they can pull these little moves, man, in the open. Look, how many of us go to a school board meeting, right? If you're not there to speak up for your children, guess what? Somebody else is going to make those decisions for them on what they can receive as education, man. I'm gonna get off my soapbox, yeah. Hey, listen, this is therapeutic. I already told you. All right, I've been holding stuff for a minute now, man. I've been sitting at home, you know what I'm saying, by myself after knee surgery, just having full conversations with Polo. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody else is ready to listen to me. But man, it feels good to be back, bro. I'll be real.
I think this is good, man.
Yeah, it feels good to be back.
Get good conversation in.
Yes.
Got the folks on the live, man. If anybody can think of that term, please.
It's gonna come to me soon as we go off.
We leave here, we're gonna figure it out. But tell us what that term is. We're talking about not teaching about Black history in the schools and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But definitely great conversation, man.
Absolutely,
I think we
man.
can wrap it up at this point, man.
Let's wrap, baby. Listen, y'all. You know, thanks for joining us for another Puff a Minute. We're gonna do everything in our power, man, to be very consistent going forward from this part on. It's not always gonna be heavy, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about things. We're gonna have fun. You know what I'm saying? There's always a lot of topics of the day. But again, we don't plan this, man. So again, if you have something you want to hear the fellas talk about on the show, hey, hit us up in the DMs, man. Hey, what y'all think about this? What y'all think about that? You know what I'm saying? And again, we'll just, throw it on the table. You never know. All right? Keep smoking, man. Make sure y'all get out here to Tap and Ash, man, social club right here in the Art District in Las Vegas, man. Come down here, say hello to Mel, man. Say hello to Michelle. Tell them that the fellas from A Puff a Minute told y'all to come on through. You know what I'm saying? And and come through. You might not know, man. You might see us sitting up in here at any given day, you know what I'm saying, enjoying a smoke and maybe an adult beverage at that time. You feel me?
Yeah.
All right, family, run it.
Hey, you know what it is, man. Keep following us on Instagram. Like we said, we're gonna start doing more lives, more interactive. Make sure to comment, DM us, man, with comments, questions, things y'all want us to discuss. Man, take that love over to YouTube. That's the warehouse, man. I keep telling you. That's the library where we got everything housed. Go check it out, man. We got episodes from 4 years back now.
4.5, 5,
yeah. On this train, man, but we're gonna be more consistent, like Mick said. We're gonna make sure to keep giving y'all good content, good conversation. That's what we do, man.
And we in the AC right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No fire. I have my towel.
Yeah. We in the AC right now, y'all. Hey, man. Lots of love. Oh, I hit my mic. Lots of love, peace. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all, man. We're gonna see you on the next one, right? Puff a Minute out, y'all. Peace.